churros to gourmet dinners, we've eaten our way around Disney World, and today we're going to dish out everything you need to know about dining in the parks. Welcome to Magical Mom's Travel Podcast, where we explore all things Disney. Today we're diving into the delicious world of dining at Disney World. Whether you're a foodie or just looking for a great meal between attractions, Disney World has something for everyone. Plus, we'll share some tips for making your dining experience even more magical. So let's get started.
So you're thinking Disney World. It's all about rides and characters and shows and all the fun stuff, right? Absolutely not. I think that there's some misconceptions maybe out there when it comes to theme park food, and Disney World is up there obviously as one of the most visited tourist destinations in the entire world. So it obviously has to feed people, and we hope that some of it's good, right? So I wanted to start today with a couple of fun foodie facts for you about Disney World. First of all, Mickey waffles. Every day, Disney World serves over 3.3 million Mickey shaped waffles. And it's one of the most popular breakfast items throughout Disney World in the parks and out of the parks and the resorts, etc. Churros. Disney sells an estimated 2.8 million churros every single year in its parks worldwide. Okay, and then popcorn. Disney uses over 30 tons of popcorn every single year. And the smell that you may encounter in the parks that smells like popcorn, it's made with a special blend of oils to make it even more enticing. And we have a popcorn lover in our group, Carla. She loves popcorn. So she can tell you all about that. And next fun fact, you may not know that these are all about snacks. So let's talk about some of the other restaurants and offerings they have here. Victoria and Albert's at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa is one of the few restaurants in Disney World that consistently receives a triple A 5 Diamond Award. That's a prestigious award comparable to a Michelin star. And this makes it a must visit for the dining enthusiast while they're in the area. Disney World is also known for its impressive array of dining options, including several restaurants helmed by celebrity chefs. Morimoto Asia is run by Iron Chef Masahiro. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Morimoto. And we also have a ton of celebrity chef restaurants. Haleo by Jose Andres. We have Chef Art Smith's Homecoming, and we have Wolfgang Puck's Bar and Grill over in Disney Springs. So if you're hungry for elevated dishes, this is also another place to be as well.
I think it comes as no surprise that dining at Disney is exciting, but without the knowledge of different options, it can get very confusing. Let's take a look at the different types of dining options throughout the parks and properties that you definitely need to take note of if you plan to purchase food on your trip inside the Disney bubble. From quick bites to fine dining, there's a variety of experiences to suit every taste and budget. First off, we're going to start out with quick service dining. Quick service restaurants are perfect for guests on the go. These spots offer fast counter service meals without the need for reservations. You'll find everything from burgers and fries to unique options like the famous Dole Whip or a delicious Ronto wrap from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I also like to compare this to like a fast food option in the parks. Next up, we're going to have table service dining. If you're looking for a sit-down meal, table service restaurants are the way to go. These require reservations, which can be made up to 60 days in advance. Table service spots range from character dining experiences like Cinderella's Royal Table in Magic Kingdom to signature dining at places like California Grill, which offers stunning views of the Magic Kingdom fireworks. We will move into our third dining category, which is going to be character dining. Speaking of character dining, this is a must-do for families, especially with small kids, but even adults alike love to have a meal with characters. Not only do you get to enjoy a meal, but you also get to meet your favorite Disney characters without waiting in line. That is the biggest perk for my family. Popular choices include Chef Mickey's at Disney's Contemporary Resort and Tusker House in Animal Kingdom. Last big category is going to be the fine signature dining. For a more upscale experience, Disney offers fine dining options. These restaurants feature gourmet menus crafted by world-class chefs. Victoria and Albert's at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa is a standout, offering a multi-course meal that's perfect for a special occasion. And I want to say this restaurant also is like a James Beard awarded restaurant. And if you don't know what that is, it's just like a huge accolade in the chef world. And then our last but not least category for food is snack carts and food booths. Don't forget about these snack carts and seasonal food booths, especially at Epcot. Throughout the parks, you'll find carts selling iconic snacks like Mickey pretzels, churros, and popcorn. Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival and Flower and Garden Festival also feature global food booths with unique and delicious offerings.
So, if you're overwhelmed, that's totally normal. Just know that Disney is not going to run out of food anytime while you are there. Here are a variety of tips that will help you with your dining needs during your vacation. Tip number one, hands down, super important. You must make reservations early. As mentioned, table service restaurants will fill up quickly, especially for character dining. So you need to be sure that you are able to book your dining reservations as soon as possible, up to 60 days in advance. Tip number two is use mobile order for quick service meals. Take advantage of mobile ordering through the My Disney Experience app. It allows you to order and pay for your food in advance, saving you time and letting you skip the lines. And I'm just going to give a really, really quick story. Our recent trip that we just got back from, we were at Magic Kingdom. We had like Adventures of Winnie the Pooh Bear reserved for like 9:15, and we were at Pirates. We had just gotten off Pirates, and my husband was hungry because of course he didn't plan well and he didn't eat like the rest of us did. And so he wanted some corn dog nuggets from Casey's Corner. And so I directed, yes, I did. I put my director hat on. I directed him to take the girls straight to Adventures with Pooh, and it was literally like 9 o'clock. You guys, I mobile ordered corn dog nuggets, swung by Casey's Corner, picked them up, and beat him at the ride with his nuggets in line. He literally looked at me like I was a magician, which I am, but that's another story. So just honestly, you use mobile order and it is so quick. You can literally get your food immediately. So I definitely recommend that. Tip number three, plan around peak times. Try to eat at off peak times to avoid crowds. Early lunches, totally are recommended, or late dinners can make for a more relaxed dining experience. Tip number four, special dietary needs. Disney is excellent at accommodating dietary restrictions. So, whether you're vegan or gluten free or have food allergies, most restaurants can provide suitable options. So, you just want to inform your server or note it when making reservations, especially if you're using mobile order too. Sometimes those options might not be all on the menu for mobile order, but you can always ask for special dietary accommodations when you're ordering.
Thank you for sharing those tips. I'm going to jump in with a couple of tips myself. Tip number 5 is if you're staying at a Disney resort, I think you should highly consider purchasing a Disney dining plan. It can be a very convenient way to budget for meals, though be sure to compare costs to ensure it's the right choice for your family. However, I do say there's two sides to this. So there's the budget conscious people who want to make sure that the dining plan is not going to cost them more than if they were just purchasing the food along the way in the park. But there's also the other side with convenience. And if you just go ahead and include that in your package and it's paid for and you don't have to think about it, you don't have to look at prices whenever you're dining, that is amazing. So my family loves that. The first time we went and used the dining plan, like we had no idea what these character meals were costing because we didn't care. We were like, oh, a credit for that, a credit for that. And then the next time there was no dining plan, we had to pay out of pocket. And it was like, it hurt our feelings, honestly. So convenience wins out for us. Tip number 6, taking breaks. Dining can be a great way to take a break and recharge. Use your meal times to relax, especially during the hotter parts of the day. And I especially love this tip during like April through October when it's like the hottest parts of the year and you're just sweating profusely and the humidity is crazy. Go in, sit in the AC, get some ice water, cool down, regroup your brain, and enjoy some food. Tip number 7, consider purchasing a refillable mug. This is also included with the purchase of a dining plan. You can refill these mugs at the length of your stay at any Disney resort with your favorite beverages, all non alcoholic, of course. And I do want to say that caveat of it's at any Disney resort, not the park. Our family enjoys the Powerade and, of course, coffee and teas. You can also use them to fill up water in the quick service restaurants in the parks, but you cannot use them otherwise, like I said before, in the parks for like sodas or teas or anything.
So we alluded to a little bit about the dining plan. So let's just talk about the little bit of details. What does the dining plan look like? There are two types of dining plans currently in 2024 and going into 2025. And they include first the quick service dining plan, or the second option being the Disney dining plan. So when you talk about the quick service dining plan, this is ideal for guests who plan to eat on the go and they don't plan to do many table service dining. Um, and it includes two quick service table meals per day and one snack per day. You also will get that refillable mug to use at your resort for free, included in that dining plan. And one thing to note, obviously, this does not include character dining. This is not going to include any table service that you want to enjoy during your vacation. You would have to pay out of pocket for. The second option being the Disney dining plan. This is going to mix all of the types of dining that you can do. So it's going to include one quick service table meal per day, one table service meal per day, one snack, and that refillable mug.
And so once you've selected and purchased your dining plan, the entitlements are loaded onto your Magic Band or your Disney Magic mobile service. So here's how you use it. For quick service meals, you head to a quick service restaurant, you order your meal, and you tap your Magic Band at the register. Or, like I said, you use your Magic Band, or I'm not your Magic Band, you use the My Disney Experience app and you mobile order. For table service meals, you make a reservation in advance, enjoy your meal, and then you tap your Magic Band at the end, obviously letting your server know that you are using your table service credit. Snacks are available at kiosks, food carts, and quick service locations throughout the parks and resorts. And same thing, you just tap to pay with your Magic Band.
So now we're going to talk about a few tips for maximizing your dining plan. Tip number one, make reservations early. I know this seems wild, like you're not going to want to, or you're not going to know what you want to eat 60 days in advance, but just think about like if you were traveling to a foreign country and people said you have to eat at this restaurant. Take those recommendations like that. Don't look at it as I don't know if I want a burger today or a burger tomorrow or whatever. You gotta make reservations or you're not going to get in. So for table service meals, especially character dining and popular restaurants, make your reservations as early as possible, up to 60 days in advance. Tip number two, you can plan your meals. You can look at the menus online and decide where you want to use your meal credits. Some table service restaurants require 2 credits per meal, so please plan accordingly. Number three, use snack credits wisely. Snacks can be more than just popcorn or ice cream. Those are going to be on the lower end of the scale if you're trying to get your value. You want to look for higher value snacks, like those found at Epcot's festivals or bakery items at the Main Street Bakery. Tip number four, the refillable mug. Don't forget to use your refillable mug at your resort. It's great for grabbing coffee in the morning or a soft drink in the evening, or even filling up with those Powerades that we mentioned before on your way to the parks. Tip number five, share meals. The portions at Disney can be quite generous. Sharing a meal can help you stretch your dining credits, especially with the Disney dining plan or the quick service plan.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can't share meals when it comes to the dining credits at like certain restaurants like Be Our Guest, etc. They won't let you like, oh, everybody that's sitting at the table has to use a table service credit, or in that case it might be two since you're at Be Our Guest. But you get the point. So you can't share credits at certain restaurants. You can like gift them to somebody else if somebody else is in your party that doesn't have the dining plan, that's visiting with you and has a different reservation, etc. It's complicated. But I know that we're going to have a whole episode deep dive just on the dining plan in a couple of months maybe. So that will help answer all the specific questions that you have. But we just wanted to give a brief overview in this episode because it is all involved in Disney dining. So the question that you might be thinking is, do we think that the dining plan is worth it? It really depends on your family and their eating habits and your preferences when it comes to dining. So here's a few factors that you want to consider. Obviously, this is a convenience. You are prepaying it inside your vacation package. I know a lot of families like this because they don't like the huge bill when they go on vacation of their food. And a lot of people miss this when we were, pre or post pandemic, when we didn't have the dining plan. A lot of people missed this and realized that it was such a huge help and such a huge convenience to have it already prepaid. When you get there on vacation, it's already done and everything's included. So you feel kind of like free and you actually feel like you're on vacation. You're not nitpicking all the little purchases. It also gives you a variety. So it encourages you to try different foods and it also to like splurge on those signature dining. I know for the three of us, we picked a couple of signature dining when we were testing out the dining plan and as it returned because we wanted to make sure that we were getting a variety of foods and, it allowed us to try things that we normally probably wouldn't. Obviously, there is the concern of cost. You want to compare the cost of your plan to what you would typical eat. I love that we have all of the menus, all the pricing, with the exception of maybe like the festival foods. They're not in the app all the time, but they are readily available on all sorts of websites and blogs. So you can go and you could figure out like what generally you guys would eat as a family and look at the prices and then compare it to like a full day of eating and then compare it to a full day of eating with the dining plan. Um, so I think that you just really need to do that as a family. I know the three of us can help you if you are one of our clients. We specialize in this and we can, advise you whether we think it's good or not for your family and we can help you maximize it.
And I just wanted to share again, because we just came back from Disney last month, that our family of five, my youngest is 4, and then my other two are 7 and 10. We did not do the dining plan this trip, and the main reason is because we always save by sharing quick service meals. Like with my little ones, actually all 3 of them, they can literally share an adult quick service meal and they're totally fine. So again, those are things that we encourage you to think about and that we can help, with your decision planning. So it just entirely depends. And we still did some character meals, but not as many, obviously. So there's lots of different factors. Okay, so we're going to do a little F and Q here. And one question that we get often is, can I use my dining credits at any dining restaurant? So dining credits can be used at participating locations, including quick service and table service restaurants. Some fine dining locations and signature restaurants may require more credits. And what we do is we send a very simple document out right from Disney's website that shows which restaurants require more than 1 credit, etc. So you can look at that before we do your dining reservations. What happens if I don't use all my dining credits? So dining credits expire at the end of your stay and cannot be carried over or refunded if unused. So you don't want that to happen. That is money wasted. So you definitely need to make sure that you're planning accordingly. Unfortunately, with a new dining plan, you used to be able to, with the old one, convert like table service to quick service and quick service to snacks. And the new dining plan does not allow you to do any of that. So even if you operated, maybe you went to Disney before they changed the plan, it is totally different, which is again a reason why you need to make sure that you talk with one of us or whoever your planner is so that we can help you with all those details, because it does not work the same. All right, do the dining plans include gratuities? So gratuities are typically not included in the dining plan and are the guest's responsibility. Some table service restaurants may automatically include gratuity for larger parties. When we did Cinderella's Royal Table this last time around, it did include gratuities, but we didn't have the dining plan. So I don't know if it would have included it if we did have the dining plan. But that's a restaurant where you have to like pay up front when you make the reservation, but then they'll convert it to the dining plan if that's what you're using when you're there. And our beverages included in the dining plan. So the dining plan typically includes non-alcoholic beverages with meals. Alcoholic beverages may be available as an upgrade, and some plans might include alcoholic drinks for adults. The table service one does include one alcoholic drink per adult. And then the quick service does too, if there is alcohol at the quick service location that you are ordering. So yes. So if everybody in your party adult drinks, then I would say that the dining plan is recommended because you can at least get an alcoholic beverage with each meal.
I would agree with that. And I think also for kids, they typically have like a specialty smoothie or some kind of drink that they can get. And usually that costs around like $6 to $7. So if your kids are using the dining plan, make sure that they get those specialty beverages because they are included, and then that will maximize your value. But like I said, we're gonna have a whole deep dive on this, on all of the dining plan and snack credits and all the things. So this is just kind of a quick overview. Okay, so you may be thinking, okay, do I have to eat at all these Disney restaurants or can I order groceries? And the answer is yes. While enjoying your magical Disney vacation, you probably, as a family, you're going to find it convenient to have some groceries on hand, snacks, waters, etc. So you can order groceries, and the way that you're going to do this is going to be a little bit different than, when you're at home. So here's how you're going to make it easy on yourself. First, you need to choose a delivery service. So there are several. Obviously, there's going to be Instacart, there's going to be Amazon Fresh, you can order from Target, Walmart, etc. I will say that some of them are a little bit more tricky than others. Some of them will cancel the orders because they realize that you're staying at Disney World and they don't want to deal with the delivery. Some of them also might cancel. I had an issue with Instacart before where they would cancel it and I was changing my address. So you have to just be a little bit flexible, and you can play around with the apps and just kind of make your order that you think you might need, like in the app, and see what they have available before you get there, but also be flexible. If they cancel, you're going to have to use a different service. They will deliver to your hotel. What you want to do is know where your Bell Services is, because that's where they will drop your food off. They are not going to bring it to your room door, unfortunately. They just won't. They will bring it to the Bell Services, so you need to go up there and meet them there. And then Disney has fridges and freezers and all the stuff to keep your food cold, and then you can just pick it up from there if you want. If not, I believe they have brought back where you can ask the Bell Services staff to bring it to your room. Obviously, you want to tip them and, do that accordingly. This is something that's really helpful for families. Like I said, just to have snacks on hand, things like breakfast, things in the morning you can quickly whip up in your room is really helpful. I even have purchased like those frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, for example, just to have in my park bag in case anyone's super starving when we're in the line for Seven Doors Mine Train, for example. Think about what you need and what your family needs, and just like I said, make a list, and then you can do like a mock order in the app, Instacart or whatever, and you can kind of see what the prices look like and how that would look. And I also, another thing that I do is I try to pack smartly, and I will pre-pack things like granola bars, instant oatmeal, drink packets, things like that in my bag, so I don't have to add them to my grocery order. I can just have them in my luggage and they're ready to go.
That wraps up our guide to dining at Disney World. Whether you're grabbing a quick snack or indulging in a luxurious meal, there's something magical for every palate. We hope these tips help you make the most of your culinary adventures at Disney. Thanks for listening to Magical Moms Podcast. And until next time, keep dreaming and keep eating. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more Disney tips and stories.